Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibe or ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is the final question and answer episode of Season 3. You've heard from Leslie, Ren, and Brandon, and now we have Kristine. Kristine regretfully couldn't make it to be with the four of us for our group episode, so this is Kristine answering all the questions that we threw at her in pretty good ways. I shall have a little bit to say at the very end, and I hope you like this as much as I did.
Hello, Ben. Hello, my fellow heroes, and hello to all of our fantastic listeners. This is Kristine Chester. Apologies in advance. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, but in a way, it's a blessing in disguise. It's given me a little bit of time so I could record this bit of, I guess, my Q&A for y'all. I'm really sorry I wasn't able to be there for the actual big group Q&A and to see off the last episode of this show that has been a part of my life for the last 5 years. Sorry, that still is a little bit mind-boggling. Heroes of the Hydian Way has given me so many amazing memories and friendships, and I wouldn't have met my partner without it, and it's going to be a really hard adjustment not getting to record this show every other week. Anyway, yeah, so sorry I couldn't make it for the last Q&A. You can tell there's definitely a script in front of me, right? Totally. But I recently took on a new job. It involved working quite a few more hours, and so just wasn't able to make that last recording. But hopefully this sniffly recording will still suffice as sort of a sign off for me. So I've got in front of me a few of the questions that my fellow heroes allocated towards me. And again, I have prepared nothing. So I'm just going to take these one at a time, and we'll see what comes from this. I don't have any names attributed to who put these together, so I'm just going to take them one at a time. And if it's your question, you know who you are. All right, question number 1. Both Koba and Skip have musical themes that have been prevalent throughout. During Hillary's recent solo adventure, we got a taste of his theme as well. So for Kristine, have you given any thought to what Kesh's theme would be? I know we've had this question before or something very similar to it, and I never have like a very strong answer. I'm not like a assemble musical themes for my character kind of person. Like occasionally I'll run across a song or something that will then make me think of them and have like a connection. But in Kesh's case, I think if we're talking about like instrumentation, is that a word? It is now, folks. You've heard it here. Invented on March 18th, 2022. No, I think it is. It just means something else. Did I mention I was sick? Anyway, I think Kesh would be something more like drums. She would be a little bit more percussion, I think. So I know we've got like the saxophone for Koba, and I believe it's like woodwinds for Skip. I I think Kesh would be percussion. I think she would be these kind of like deeper drum beats, a little bit more, a little bit more primal, I guess is more what I'm trying to go for here. A little bit more like impact based. And I think that would also be a suitable sort of instruments to base her around, given like she walks with the cane and fights with, a stick, essentially for most of the series. So yeah, so that's what I got there. All right. Question number 2. How does the story of your character or the group fit with the rest of the stories of Star Wars? Are there themes or characters or aesthetics that meshed well or stuck out? That is a good question. So I'm thinking, again, I prepared absolutely nothing. We're talking about Chronicles of the Gatekeeper. I am less sure, because obviously by the end of it, most of the group decides great power is not for us, and they're going to go off and do other things. And I don't feel like that's normally a lesson associated with the Force in Star Wars. It's very much a, battle of the light versus the dark. And I don't feel like we touched on that too terribly well here, if I'm being honest. Because we just had many, many shades of gray. Gray all over. Gray with our characters, especially Kesh and Koba, and even Skip at times in terms of their actions. We had gray in terms of Markov and Ward. And the only real, villain in Carl, even he had this sort of, duality to him. So I don't think we touched on that very well this season. I think we've done a better job of hitting the sort of Star Wars story beats more in previous seasons. The thing I can say is I do feel like we followed along part of the hero's journey. And no, I'm not saying that just to try to set up Skip for a protagonist joke. But we each had characters who began with a smaller worldview and took their first step into a larger world. They crossed the threshold, they encountered dangers, and they were transformed and changed by them throughout. I feel like they kind of all came cyclical again. They realized they didn't want to be across the threshold anymore by the end, but I feel like we at least followed part of that journey. All right, question 3. If your characters had fallen to the dark side, what would their Darth names have been? This is when I would love... It's when my brain, again, is thinking back to, Nema and Cav when I hear characters, because I don't know what was specifically targeting me and what was in general. I'm going to guess this is a general question. So it's not about those two. It's about Kesh. And, gosh, I don't know. I think because I don't have a good one for Kesh. I could come up with some silly ones for Nema or Cav, but we're not talking about them. I'm talking about Kesh. I think I'm going to take the cop out and say that she is, is too old and set in her ways, and probably would not come up with a suitable Darth name. Because you've been known as Kesh your whole life. You're just gonna stick with it. How about that? All right. Question 4. Who should play your character in the live-action series of the Season 3 Heroes? I feel like we've had this question before, too. We've done 2 more of these. I feel like, and again, I never have a good answer. Kind of like the music thing. I'm not really somebody who associates actors with the characters I play, unless I just run across somebody who fits really, really well. And Kesh is a Trandoshan. So whoever is going to play her needs to be tall, needs to be able to play an old woman, and be comfortable enough in all the prosthetics or the little dots for doing a green screen is what I would say. Voice wise, I think either some modulation would be necessary. Maybe what is her name now? Maybe the voice actress who plays Sid in Bad Batch could do a good Kesh. She's already got kind of the older lady Trandoshan down. Okay. Question. These aren't actually numbered. I'm numbering them as I go. Question number 5. To the players for the whole adventure, do you feel like the personality of your character evolved, and if so, in what way? Yes. I do think Kesh evolved and grew primarily due to the intervention of Hillary and due to the fantastic Force visions that Ben ran us through. Especially, I'm thinking about, for Kesh, the interactions with Obi-Wan Kenobi and with Scare. I think were really good. I think led to some really good back and forths as Kesh started off a lot more, I don't want to say violent, but a lot more willing to commit violence and take threats off the board, to think very Trandoshan hunter-ish. And that changed over time. Kesh, in the beginning, would not have hesitated to just strike Ward. Because that was a really hard scene at the end for me. Because Kesh was telling me, I want to attack Ward. Why aren't my friends attacking Ward? But she didn't, because she was trying. She wanted to. She's trying to push everybody to, but she couldn't take that first step herself. Start of campaign, Kesh would have done it. No questions asked. Would not have tried to push people. It just would have been I'm just going for it. Really, Kesh prior to the Markov fight, I think would have done it. So I think it's been the biggest growth in change for her throughout the show. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question 6. Now that we have 2, 3, 4 characters under our belt in this whole Hydian world, are there any archetypes you've not played that you wish you had or want to? I've had the chance to play quite a few Star Wars characters for Heroes of the Hydian Way over the last 5 years, and I feel pretty good overall. I think I've been able to represent a lot of different archetypes and stuff like that. Especially my 2 favorites I've played in Star Wars. I love a good tank character, and Neemos applied that very, very well. And then Cav fit the mechanic tinker type. And I guess Kesh fit a third archetype of mine. I don't often play in Star Wars, but I play in other tabletop RPGs, which is sort of that of the magic user, the person with a lot of tricks and like a mystical connection. So I fit those pretty well. And I've played now, somebody at the start of their career, somebody in the middle, and somebody at the end, which feels like a pretty good spread to me. Isn't a specialization in terms of archetype. I do regret not getting the chance to play a droid character for a full season. I got a bit of that taste with Cav and the Danger Balls, which is nice. So maybe that's kind of covered in a way, but there's still that part of me that wishes I had been able to portray my own take on it. I also, and I know it depends on the right campaign, the rules can be a bit clunky. I do wish I played a dedicated pilot character at some point. Cav was originally envisioned that way. I wasn't going to play the tech. I was going to play the pilot, because I've never had that real opportunity to play with the archetype in all my years of Star Wars FFG gaming. And so that would really be appealing to get the chance to do that. Whereas I've kind of played the leader, I've played the smart one, I've had high brawn, high agility. I feel like I've covered most of my bases. Oh, I know what it is. I guess the other archetype I really haven't played with, I would love to have done for a hero season. Would have been a stretch for me, would have been like the high cunning character, the smuggler archetype, or like a gambler or charmer. Well, actually, charmer is more presence, but that's one of my favorite specs from Edge of the Empire. But somebody who would encourage me to think outside the box a little bit more, be a bit more criminal-ish, which again I didn't really dive too much into for Edge. I think those would have been fun. Question 7: what force powers would your Season 1 and Season 2 characters have? I know this is going to be absolutely shocking. So I think Nima would have, once she got enough force rating, she would take Protect Unleash. Obviously for Protect, that was a big deal for her, was looking after people, taking care of them. I think along the way, she would have picked up Battle Meditation. Again, being that support kind of character, I think would have suited her really, really well. And I think she also would have picked up probably Enhance for the mobility and just being the tough kind of lady that she was. Cav would have loved all of them. Manipulate obviously seems pretty like on the nose, but maybe too much. We obviously did see a version of Force using Cav in the Halloween special back in Edge of the Empire. So I think Cav did have like Unleash, Protect and stuff like that. So I think Cav would love to have Enhance, so I would never give it to them because it would be more entertaining to me to, like, the Cav was very much a character built around wanting something and not being able to have it. What else do we have Force power-wise? Oh, okay. I absolutely would have given Cav Conjure. I know it starts off as weapons, and then it can potentially be like low-tech items. I would have used it as, like, that would have been an alternative to utility belt. Just would have had them conjure random stuff. I would have enjoyed getting to play around with a Force power we just don't see very much. Also, given how often Cav got hurt, it might have been amusing to grab Endure. I don't know if it actually lets you stay up if you're wounded out, but that could have been fun. Oh yeah, I never did do Farsight with Cash, which that is probably like my favorite like underrated Force power, and I definitely could have done it with Cav and like tied it into the mechanical things like seeing through stuff, because that's like my favorite part of that is the being able to like look through walls and stuff of that nature. I wouldn't have given either of them influence or anything like that. Oh, okay. I found another Cav one. I'm going to stop here, which is Misdirect. Because, again, it's not what Cav would have envisioned or wanted, but I think I would have had a lot of fun with that. And that would kind of tie back into the getting to be more creative aspects. And I think I would have had a blast doing that. All right, it was this question number 8. We had a lot of musical beats in this season, but because of legal stuff, we can't have pop music. So what is your not legally allowed power ballad for your character? As mentioned back up at the top, I don't associate music with my characters unless I come across something that really, really fits. I don't have something for Kesh. I'm going to be honest. I just don't. In terms of like a power ballad or things like that. So kind of a lackluster end to the Q&A, but I don't have one. I'm sorry, I don't really have a good one for her. Okay. So I'm gonna really miss you all. I'm gonna miss each and every listener who has provided feedback to us. I'm gonna miss each and every listener. I think every one of you who provided feedback to us over the years, your comments and questions and thoughts always help to inspire me going forward. I'm going to miss every one of my heroes. Yes, because they are my heroes. It's going to be an adjustment. And I'm going to miss my fantastic game master, Ben, who has GM'd like half of the campaigns I've ever been able to complete as a player. It's helped me to craft stories for some of my favorite characters I've ever played in a universe that I love. And thank you, Ben, for giving me the opportunity to play in the sandbox, and for being my podcasting partner for the last 5 years. This is Kristine Chester signing off one last time. Do I need to do an outro? I don't know. Alright, just in case. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way. You can find me on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th Night with a K. And we are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes. You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing. We're also on Facebook as The Haitian Way, and you can holocom us at heroes@thehaitianway.com.
And as a final note from me here on The Haitian Way, thank you. Thank you to Chris, to Brent, to Leslie, to Kristine, to David, to Ren, and to Brandon. To those who have guested, Mim and Adam, and for all of our supporters who have written in questions, shared us, and accepted us into the Star Wars actual play community. It's been a privilege to be part of this community. I do hope that the Haitian Way will rejoin once life has calmed down to a dull yell. Until that time, we'll find you with blaster, with rifle, or with lightsaber, somewhere on the Haitian Way.
A galactic civil war spreads across the sun. From the heights of Coruscant to fiery Mustafar, to fight the evil empire, for people join the fray. These are the heroes of the Haitian Way. Oh, I recognize that face. You're in trouble, aren't you? Well, I'll take you out to the Outer Rim, but I don't think it's going to do you much good. Why? Well, there's a new bounty hunting group. You haven't heard? There's a two-faced Twi'lek and a pugilist droid. If I were you, I'd do my best to avoid the Solonian captain and the Gandroid tech. Better watch your back or you're gonna get wrecked. They're riding on the sky on fire, heading to the edge of the empire. Your number's up and now you gotta pay, running from the heroes of the Haitian Way.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibro ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Haitian Way. Kristine couldn't resist finally playing a Trandoshan, and Brandon's obsessed with this weird vibro-rang. And then we have Hillary with a silent G. Come on, Leslie, you gotta be kidding me. then I don't know how you're gonna be both GM and teacher as you take these goofballs through Chronicles of the Gatekeeper. Ren, maybe you're lucky. That'll be a breath of fresh air. Because if I know the others, they'll be rolling despairs.